Greetings, and welcome to A Year of Movies, a Planet Geek production. For this project, we are using the Ivan Walters reference book of 365 films to watch on the day they happened. Each day, we watch a movie associated with the date we are watching it on. And as it is the 5th of July, we are going to be watching Cool Hand Luke from 1967, directed by Stuart Rosenberg and starring Paul Newman. So this is definitely one of those titles that you hear people talking about all the time. One of the biggest movies in Paul Newman's career and whatnot, and also with the amount of the fabulous actors that appear in this feature. And this, however, as a full-time watch, which I think I've seen this movie, but not in its entirety. I might have watched it on like regular television, like a late night showing of this movie, and I'm pretty sure I either missed the beginning or the end. But again, with commercials and how things get broken up for television edits, it's kind of hard to figure out what I've actually seen. So technically, I'm going to say this is my first full sit down and watch from beginning to end watch of this movie. And like I'd already mentioned, not only does this movie star Paul Newman, but it also stars George Kennedy, J.D. Cannon, Lou Antonio, Robert Drivas, Strother Martin, Joe Van Fleet, Clifton James, and Morgan Windward. When petty criminal Luke Jackson, played by Paul Newman, is sentenced to 2 years in a Florida prison farm, he doesn't play by the rules of either the sadistic warden, played by Struthers Martin, or the yard's resident heavy, Dragline, played by George Kennedy, who ends up admiring the new guy's unbreakable will. Luke's bravado, even in the face of repeated stints in the prison's deadly solitary confinement cell, the box, makes him a rebel hero to his fellow convicts and a thorn in the side of the prison's officers. So we're dealing with another Paul Newman-led movie where all the lights are shining brightly on Paul Newman, for good reason. He is a fantastic actor, and he is dealt with this wonderful character in this very unusual situation. And of course, the entire movie is constructed around the environment that Luke finds himself in, and the other prisoners who, again, start off as adversaries, which become confidants, which becomes backers eventually, and the forces that control them. It's just a wonderful dynamic of how they work there. We're introduced to quite a few really well-known actors playing much smaller roles in this particular film, and it's just a fantastic thing to see faces like Dennis Hopper and Clifton James and Harry Dean Stanton showing up in this movie. One other thing about this is this movie has two very iconic things about this movie. Not only is this the movie where we have the speech from Strother Martin's about what we got here is a failure to communicate, which is beautifully spoken eloquently as the speech that he gives out to the prisoners at one point in the movie. But this also has that wonderfully fantastic car wash sequence where the prisoners working along the road get a show from this basically character known as the girl, played by Joy Harmon, as she does this really seductive washing of her vehicle in full view of these men totally knowing what she's doing. It's just, again, something iconic also about this movie. So after a bit of time of being in the prison, Luke actually performs an actual escape from the prison on the evening of Independence Day. So the next day, which is July 5th, he actually spends the whole entire day on the run in the hot sun, and that happens at just about 1 hour and 17 minutes into this 2 hour and 6 minute film. And when it came to the Academy Awards for that particular season, it actually ended up winning for Best Supporting Actor for George Kennedy, and got nominations for Best Actor for Paul Newman, Best Original Score, and Best Adapted Screenplay. And on that note, we're going to wrap up this particular episode and look off to the future to see what we're going to be watching for tomorrow, which is the 6th of July, and that is going to be A Man for All Seasons from 1966. So until next time, go see a movie.